I bet you didn't know this, but 1 in 3 people over the age of 65 will suffer a fall this year. And I don't mean a little stumble. I mean a fall that shakes your confidence, affects your independence, and in some cases, changes your life forever. What's even more worrying is, most of those people never fully recover. Not physically. Not emotionally. And sometimes, not socially either. They stop going out. They stop doing things they love. They start shrinking into themselves, not because they want to, but because they're afraid. And here's the part that doesn't get talked about enough. It's not just weak legs or poor eyesight that cause this. That's what most people assume. But that's only scratching the surface. There are hidden habits, little things you do every day without even noticing, that quietly chip away at your balance. Habits that seem harmless, even normal. But over time, they can leave you feeling dizzy, off balance, and unsure on your feet. The truth is, there are 5 of them. 5 sneaky, silent culprits. And most seniors, maybe even you, have no idea they're doing these things. Slight pause. Tone becomes more hopeful, uplifting. But listen. What if I told you that not everyone over 65 slows down? That some folks in their 70s and 80s are still out there hiking, dancing, even playing pickleball like they're in their 40s? No, they're not superhuman. And no, it's not just good genes. The truth is, they figured something out. They stopped doing these balance-draining habits. And they replaced them with smarter, simpler daily choices. Nothing extreme. Nothing overwhelming. Just small things that made a big difference. And here's the kicker, these are things your doctor probably never told you about. Not because they don't care. But because traditional advice, it's outdated. It focuses on symptoms, not the hidden causes. But new research, from trusted sources like the National Institute on Aging, is finally starting to shine a light. They're showing how things like your nervous system, your daily routine, even what you wear on your feet inside your own home, can either protect your balance, or slowly steal it. So today, let's pull back the curtain. Let's talk about the real reasons seniors lose their balance, and how to stop it before it starts. Because this isn't just about avoiding a fall. It's about staying independent, confident, and fully in control of your body. Let's start with the first habit. And I'm going to be honest with you. This one is more common than you'd think. Habit number 1, skipping strength work. Now I know what you might be thinking. I walk every day. Isn't that enough? And listen, walking is wonderful. It gets your blood flowing, keeps your joints moving, lifts your mood. But here's the part nobody ever says out loud. Walking alone won't rebuild the muscle you're losing. See, muscle loss, something called sarcopenia, starts creeping in as early as your 30s. Slowly at first, but then it picks up speed. By the time you're 60, you can lose 3% to 5% of your muscle every decade, and that adds up. That's your legs. Your core. Your back. All the muscles that keep you upright, steady, and safe. And when those muscles weaken, your foundation gets shaky. You might not notice it at first. Maybe you start holding on to walls when you turn corners. Maybe getting out of a chair feels different. Maybe you avoid uneven ground, not because you can't do it, but because you're just not sure. That's your body trying to tell you something. Balance isn't just about how well your inner ear works. It's about how much strength your muscles still have to catch you when you wobble. To stabilize your knee when it buckles. To keep your foot planted when you misstep. And the good news? You don't need to join a gym. You don't need to lift heavy weights or push yourself to exhaustion. You just need resistance. That could mean simple chair squats, standing up and sitting down slowly, with control. That could mean resistance bands, easy on the joints, gentle on the body, but powerful in rebuilding strength. That could mean holding onto a countertop and doing slow calf raises, or wall push-ups to keep your upper body involved. The goal isn't to look like a bodybuilder. The goal is stability. The kind of strength that protects you when you trip on the rug, or miss a step. The kind of strength that helps you carry groceries without wobbling. That keeps your legs firm when you reach for something high up. And here's the truth. It's never too late to rebuild lost muscle. Even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond, your body is still capable of growing stronger. You just have to give it the right signal. So if you've been skipping strength work, not on purpose, but because no one told you it mattered, consider this your wake-up call. Not just for strength, but for balance, confidence, and peace of mind. And once you feel that strength returning, even a little, you'll start to move differently. You'll walk with a little more confidence. Stand a little taller. And that quiet fear of falling, it starts to fade into the background. Now, let's talk about your feet. I know, it might sound simple. But your feet are your connection to the ground. They're the foundation beneath your foundation. And when it comes to balance, what you wear on your feet, especially inside your home, makes a bigger difference than most people realize. Habit number 2, wearing the wrong shoes indoors. This one surprises a lot of folks. Because let's be honest, when you're at home, you want to be comfortable. So you slip on those cozy socks, or your favorite slippers. Maybe they're soft, maybe they're easy to slide into. But here's the catch, most slippers and socks have zero grip, no support, and over time, they become little traps waiting to trip you up. Studies show that wearing shoes with poor grip can increase your risk of falling by up to 40%. And when you think about it, it makes sense. A slick kitchen floor, a rug that curls up at the edge, a quick turn down the hallway, and suddenly, your foot slips just enough to throw off your center. And it's not just about slipping. The wrong shoes dull the signals your feet send to your brain. See, your feet are packed with nerves, they tell your brain what kind of surface you're walking on, how much pressure to apply, and whether you need to adjust. When your footwear is too soft, too loose, or too flimsy, those signals get fuzzy. Your brain doesn't get the full message. And that's how tiny missteps turn into dangerous stumbles. But here's the good news, fixing this doesn't require any dramatic changes. All it takes is making one simple upgrade. Start wearing non-slip, supportive shoes, even inside your home. Yes, even when you're just getting up to make a cup of tea. Or heading down the hallway to grab the mail. Or walking into the living room to answer the phone. It might feel strange at first, putting on real shoes instead of slippers in your own house, but give it a week. You'll start to feel the difference. You'll notice how grounded you feel. How steady you are when turning, bending, or stepping onto a different surface. Look for shoes that have a firm heel, a non-slip sole, and just enough cushion to support you, not sink you. Something that hugs your foot, instead of letting it wander. And if bending over to tie laces is tricky, no problem, there are great options with Velcro or slip-resistant slip-ons that still offer full support. Remember, most falls happen in the home. Not outside. Not on rocky trails or icy sidewalks. Right in the place you're supposed to feel safest. So take a moment, and think about what's on your feet right now. Are they helping you stay balanced? Or are they quietly putting you at risk? This might seem like a small habit, but the right pair of shoes can change the way you move. And more importantly, the way you feel about moving. Let's move on to something that often gets brushed aside. Not because it's not important, but because it changes so gradually, we hardly notice. Habit number 3, ignoring vision changes. Now I want you to think about something. When was the last time you had your eyes checked? Not just reading glasses from the drugstore, I mean a full eye exam. You see, as we age, our depth perception starts to shift. That's the part of our vision that tells us how far away something is, how deep a step is, how high a curb might be, how close a rug edge is to your toe. And when that sense starts to fade, even just a little, your balance pays the price. You might find yourself stepping too short, or too far. You might misjudge where the ground is when you're going downstairs. You might not even notice a raised corner of a rug until it catches your foot. And at night? That's when it gets even trickier. The natural changes in your eyes mean they don't adjust to low light as quickly as they used to. What once looked like a clear hallway, now becomes a blur of shadows and shapes. That trip to the bathroom in the middle of the night, it becomes a silent hazard zone. But here's the good news, this is one of the easiest fixes on the list. And the benefits show up almost immediately. Start by scheduling regular eye exams, at least once a year. Not just to update your prescription, but to check for things like cataracts, glaucoma, and macular degeneration. These conditions often creep in slowly, and they affect not just what you see, but how your brain interprets your surroundings. Then, take a good look around your home, especially in the areas where you walk most often. Are the hallways well lit? Is your kitchen easy to navigate in the early morning or late at night? Does the light switch near your bed actually light your path, or just the room? Here's a powerful yet often overlooked tip. Install soft night lights, the kind that turn on automatically when it gets dark. Place them in key spots, the hallway, the bathroom, beside the bed, near the stairs. That gentle glow can guide your steps, reduce strain on your eyes, and prevent those dangerous middle-of-the-night missteps. And don't underestimate how powerful contrast can be for your vision. A white step on a white floor. That's a guessing game. Add a bit of colored tape or a strip of contrasting material, and suddenly your eyes can lock onto it with confidence. Even something as simple as rearranging a room to avoid glare from windows can make a real difference. Because balance isn't just about the body, it's also about the signals your brain receives from the world around you. And your eyes are one of the main messengers. So no, you're not just getting clumsy if you find yourself bumping into corners or stepping off curbs awkwardly. You might just need a new pair of lenses, or a little more light in your space. Don't ignore what your eyes are trying to tell you. Taking care of your vision is one of the most powerful, and most underrated, ways to stay balanced, safe, and fully in control. Now let's talk about something that almost nobody connects to balance. But it affects every cell in your body, including your brain. Habit number 4, poor hydration and nutrition. I know. We're always told to drink more water and eat better. It sounds simple. But most people don't realize just how much your balance depends on this one thing, staying consistently hydrated and properly nourished. Let me ask you, have you ever stood up and suddenly felt dizzy? Like the room tilted just a little? Or maybe your legs felt just a bit wobbly for no clear reason? That's not always age. Often, that's your body crying out for hydration. You see, as we get older, our sense of thirst becomes less reliable. Your body might need water, but you don't always feel thirsty. And that can trick you into drinking far less than you actually need. But here's what happens inside. When you're dehydrated, even slightly, your blood pressure can dip when you stand up. It's called orthostatic hypotension. It makes you feel lightheaded, off-kilter, like the ground isn't quite steady beneath you. And that moment of dizziness? That's all it takes for a fall. And let's not forget your muscles and nerves, they rely on minerals like magnesium and B vitamins to function properly. Without them, your reflexes slow down. Your coordination gets fuzzy. Your body doesn't respond as quickly to correct a stumble. So what can you do? First, don't wait to feel thirsty. That signal just isn't dependable anymore. Instead, drink water on purpose. Sip throughout the day, even just a few ounces at a time. Keep a small bottle with you, even at home. Set a gentle reminder if you need to. If plain water feels boring, try adding a slice of lemon or cucumber. Herbal tea counts too, just watch the caffeine and sugar. Second, let's look at your meals. Are you getting enough real nutrients, not just calories? Focus on foods that support your nervous system and muscles. Things like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, beans, bananas, whole grains. Foods rich in magnesium, B6, and B12, they keep your nerves sharp and your muscles responsive. Even something as simple as a spinach omelette or a handful of almonds in the afternoon can help. And don't forget salt, yes, salt. Not too much, but too little salt can also cause low blood pressure, especially if you're on certain medications. So make sure you're working with your doctor or dietitian to find the right balance. The bottom line is this. Balance begins on the inside. It starts with hydration. It starts with nutrition. Your muscles, your nerves, your blood flow, your brain, they all depend on these simple building blocks. And when you give your body what it needs, not just when you remember, but as a habit, you'll feel it. You'll stand up without that wobble. You'll walk into a room and feel clear, centered, steady. You'll start to trust your body again. So if you've ever said, "I'm just a little dizzy sometimes," it's probably nothing. Let me tell you, it's not nothing. It's a message. And your body is smarter than you think, it just needs a little help to stay strong. Let's move into one of the most surprising habits that affects your balance. And I'll bet most people don't even realize they're doing it. Habit number 5, multitasking while moving. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I've always been a good multitasker. And that might be true. Maybe you've carried laundry and chatted on the phone at the same time. Walked through the grocery store while making a mental shopping list. Or climbed the stairs with your hands full, thinking of what to make for dinner. But here's what most people don't realize. The brain changes with age, and it doesn't juggle information like it used to. Science calls this cognitive load, and when you're asking your brain to do too many things at once, it quietly takes resources away from your movement and your balance. It's like trying to drive while texting. Your attention is split, and something important always gets missed. When you're walking and talking on the phone, or carrying a bag of groceries while looking for your keys, or even thinking deeply about a conversation while stepping off a curb, your brain has to prioritize. And unfortunately, movement often gets bumped to second place. That's why you might suddenly trip on that one step you've climbed 100 times. Or lose your footing while turning a corner you know like the back of your hand. Because your mind was somewhere else. And that 1 second of distraction, that's all it takes. But here's the fix, and it's refreshingly simple. Give your movement your full attention. If you're walking, then just walk. Put the phone down. Keep your hands free if you can. Watch your path. Feel your steps. Let your body and your brain work together, not in competition. Especially on stairs, uneven ground, slick floors, or dim lighting, treat those moments like they deserve your full focus. Because they do. And listen, this isn't about slowing down your life. It's about moving with intention. About respecting the way your brain protects you, when you let it. You've earned the right to take your time. To move with grace. To walk into each room with clarity instead of rush. So let's have some real talk here. Multitasking is overrated. Especially when you're on your feet. Because your brain is doing something incredible in those moments, it's calculating posture, pressure, direction, balance, all in real time. And the truth is, your brain deserves your full attention while you're on the move. Not just for safety, but for confidence. Because when you're fully present in your body, you move better, feel better, and trust yourself more deeply. So the next time you're tempted to carry just one more thing, or finish that phone call while walking down the driveway, pause. Set it down. Give your steps the respect they deserve. Because when you do that, when you give each step your full focus, you're not just avoiding a fall. You're telling your body, "I've got you." So let's bring it all together. 5 habits. 5 silent balance breakers that too many people overlook, until it's too late. Skipping strength work, that's how muscles fade, and falls sneak up. Wearing the wrong shoes indoors, soft soles, slippery steps, and a lack of support can quietly steal your stability. Ignoring changes in your vision, one missed stare, one dark hallway, and suddenly you're at risk. Letting hydration and nutrition slide, not feeling thirsty doesn't mean you're hydrated, and your body knows the difference. And finally, trying to do too many things while moving, asking your brain to balance and multitask when what it really needs is your full focus. Each of these habits might seem small on their own. Easy to brush off. Easy to say, I'm fine. But together, they can chip away at your confidence, your steadiness, your independence. The good news? You don't have to tackle them all at once. You don't need to overhaul your life. Just pick one. Start there. Maybe today, you decide to drink more water before lunch. Or switch to safer shoes, even around the house. Or maybe you choose to take the stairs with intention, hands-free, fully focused. It's those small, conscious steps, those tiny, intentional shifts, that build strength, balance, and resilience over time. So here's your moment. You've got the knowledge now. The question is, what will you do with it? Because a small step now can prevent a big fall later. And the future version of you, stronger, steadier, and still thriving, will thank you for the choice you make today. So, let me ask you something. Which habit surprised you the most? Was it the shoes? The multitasking? Or maybe the hydration one really hit home? These are the little things most people never talk about, until something happens. Until someone they love ends up in the hospital after a fall. Until they realize their body doesn't quite catch itself like it used to. Have you, or someone close to you, ever had a moment like that? A close call, or maybe a fall, that made you think, I didn't see that coming. If so, you're not alone. And your story matters. Share it in the comments, really. You never know who's reading, or who might feel a little less alone because you were brave enough to speak up. Because this isn't just a video, this is a community. A space where wisdom, experience, and truth are welcomed. And sometimes, the smallest comment can spark the biggest change for someone else. And if this video helped you see things differently, even just one thing, go ahead and tap that like button. It lets us know we're creating content that matters. And hey, don't stop here. Subscribe to Thriving Age Tips so you never miss the practical, empowering health insights we share each week. Whether it's balance, brain health, energy, or just getting the most out of every day, this is your space. Your journey. Your time to thrive. You're not just aging. You're evolving. Strengthening. Becoming wiser and more capable than ever. And you deserve to feel steady on your feet, and confident in your body. So here's to taking control. Here's to staying sharp. And here's to thriving, at every age. See you in the next one.